on our most solemn day, commemorating the ANZAC spirit that defines our nation. It began with tens of thousands of people standing in silent reflection at the Shrine of Remembrance in honour of our fallen servicemen and women. As the day dawned over Melbourne, a lone bugler played the last post, and we were reminded of those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. Candice Wyatt begins our coverage.
In the morning, Melbourne gathered to remember them. Older generations mixed with the new, together to reflect on fallen relatives.
I think he got on that boat in 1939 and didn't realise how awful it would have been.
And those we had never heard of, like 4 young men from country Victoria who signed up for war as one, only to be torn apart.
Don McDonald was the only one of 4 to return.
Orthopaedic surgeon and group captain Annette Hollian became the first active servicewoman to address Melbourne's dawn ceremony.
My medals remind me of the way we cared for those men, not only as medical staff, but as family, before sending them back home towards Australia to safety.
She told of the camaraderie among Australian Defence Force personnel overseas, even when under fire.
A moment of familiar humour when I asked a soldier, "Crikey, mate, what happened to you?" And he responded in kind, "Shot in the guts, man."
The crowd was urged to ask veterans about their medals so their stories live on.
My great-grandfather actually died in World War I, so this is his belt and some badges and things that he collected.
It's important in the national psyche, I think, and it makes me think about my mortality.
As veterans age and memories fade and modern conflicts emerge, keeping the spirit of the ANZACs alive in younger generations becomes even more important. But if crowd numbers are anything to go by, we're doing a good job. 35,000 people turned out for this year's dawn service.
I like it to remember and feel a part of remembering my family and every other soldiers that fought for us.
For our freedom and the way of life we hold so dear. Candice Wyatt, 10 Eyewitness News.
As the dawn service came to an end, thousands remained in central Melbourne for the traditional ANZAC parade. It was a little different this year, with ex-servicemen and women of recent conflicts leading the march for the first time. Georgina McKerrow joined them.
For some, this parade route is a well-worn path.
I love the march. I've been down the turn. Up to 50 years I've been marching.
Every year it's on.
How many years is that?
You went them up.
I'm one of the young oldies still left, 87.
For others, it's about learning.
ANZAC Day is for remembering the soldiers who went in the war.
I feel connected to it more than other people. I just feel like it's something special.
And passing on a story, a legacy.
To remember our great-great-grandparents.
I'm just marching today with my granddad because he was in the army.
Along with tradition, there were some changes this year. For the first time, veterans from recent conflicts, including Afghanistan, Iraq and Timor, marched ahead of those from earlier battles. More women were front and centre.
Yes, I think they should be recognised.
And wartime vehicles were replaced with flashy modern cars due to safety concerns. About 11,000 people took part. Security was tight, but not overwhelming.
As the crowds grow every year, so too does the focus on the younger generation, whether it's school children taking part in the parade or great-grandchildren standing with their loved ones watching it unfold.
Very special because it's carrying on a little bit of a tradition. So he's going to be marching when I'm gone, and hopefully his kids will march as well.
And so, with a proud wave and a round of applause, Melbourne remembered, honoured and thanked our veterans once more. Georgina McKerrow, 10 Eyewitness News.
This was a special